What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to our channel.
So before we dive into today's video, make sure you give this video a like and you click the subscribe button down below. So you guys asked us what we think made Stefan insane. So we took some notes, which is on the phone. And so today we're going to be talking about bandersnatch and what got Stefan to his insanity. So warning, there's going to be a lot of spoilers. So, Bandersnatch is Netflix's newest interactive film following the life of a young video gamer in the 1980s, and it follows his slow progression to insanity.
So, Bandersnatch is part of the Black Mirror series, and Black Mirror is known for its modern-day Twilight Zone feel, relating sci-fi and mystery to everyday life.
In Bandersnatch, our main character, Stefan, starts off as a seemingly normal boy. As a 19-year-old living with his dad, he spends his time creating his choose-your-own-adventure game called Bandersnatch. When he is given the opportunity to work for a prestigious video company alongside his role model, in the main timeline, he turns it down and works obsessively to finish his video game alone. As we watch Stefan, we make choices for him acting as his subconscious. As we bring up his past, we ultimately drive him to insanity and have him kill his father.
So, what made Stefan lose his marbles?
Keep watching to find out.
In short, we make Stefan lose his marbles. While the foundation for insanity was already there from a loss of his mother at an early age, it's us messing with his life that accelerates Stefan's psychological deterioration. Bandersnatch has 5 main endings, and each of them end with him going crazy in a different way, even if only 2 of them lead to his father's death. Stefan's insanity, violent reactions, and loss of self-control can all be explained by looking through Bandersnatch with a psychoanalytic lens.
So what is a psychoanalytic lens? Well, the psychoanalytic lens examines the psychological forces at work in humans. This literary lens came from a famous 19th century psychologist, and you've probably heard of Sigmund Freud.
Freudian psychology focuses on many ideas, but we're going to look at 2. First, that our neurology consists of an id, ego, and superego, which is our subconscious, forming our drives, decisions, and morals. Second is that human development all the way through adulthood goes back to one's childhood traumas and experiences, and the Oedipus complex in particular.
So you may be completely lost right now, but if you're familiar with Bandersnatch, we'll help you use this choose-your-own-adventure game to piece through these theories.
To start off with the id, this part of your unconscious mind is the devil on your shoulder. The id says, I want it now, and it doesn't care about the consequences. It is very primal and wants to fulfill your desires and pleasures.
So, an example of this is Stefan murdering his father. His id is his impulsive want to kill his dad. However, his superego tells him the opposite. So the superego is seen as the angel on your shoulder. It tells Stefan that obviously killing his father is bad because society has agreed that murder is immoral.
Lastly, his ego balances the id and superego, listening to both sides and making the final decision. The ego listens to that angel and devil and decides what to actually do.
And in Bandersnatch, we the viewers act as Stefan's ego. So this movie is unique in the sense that the viewers control Stefan's life, but it also shows Stefan acknowledging the lack of control he has over matters as simple as breakfast cereal or as serious as killing his father.
I know there's someone there. Who's there? Who are you? Oh, come on, if there's someone there, just give me a sign. Will you give me a sign?
Because we are acting as the ego, the aspect of the Freudian theory is highlighted. The ego is part of the subconscious mind that makes decisions for us.
Ego balances out the wants of the id with the moral implications of the superego. If one gets dominant representation in the ego, it can lead to abnormal consequences where a person can act either strictly to the book or purely to satisfy their primal wants. Stefan's past leads to this inner conflict in his mind, and most of the time, his primal side wins.
Let's go back to Stefan's mom's death. At the beginning of the movie, during one of his therapy sessions, we find out that Stefan's mom died in a train accident when he was 5. Stefan blames himself because he took too long to look for the stuffed bunny that his dad had hid, making his mom take a later train that would derail and kill her.
So this train crash and the memory of her death stuck with Stefan, which resulted in him blaming his father and himself for the death of his mom. And even though Stefan does visit his therapist regularly, he never talks through those feelings about the incident and just represses his memories and emotions.
So going back to that idea of Freudian theory, Stefan's traumatic past and his relationship with his parents make him the killer that he becomes.
So the Oedipus complex explains a sexual desire boys have for their moms. In short, mothers are traditionally the more affectionate of their parents. So from the ages 3 to 5, boys attract to their moms. As a result of that affection, she's reciprocated. So when these boys age, they realize they are no longer the center of attention of their mom, making them jealous and resentful of their father for the intimacy he has with the mom. I know it's weird.
In this article called The Real Oedipus Complex, Jeffrey R. Rubin, PhD, debunks Freud's Oedipus complex. He explains that Freud's interpretation was wrong, and that if reading it the right way, one can get the actual meaning of the Oedipus complex.
So the story of Oedipus may be a very dramatized way of explaining how kids desire the same familiarity and affection in their lover that they were introduced to by their parents.
In Bandersnatch, an Oedipus complex is clearly visible.
To an extent. So Freud interpreted the famous story of Oedipus Rex in an outdated way. Instead of the incestuous desires he believed Oedipus had for his mother, it was more to express the aggression he had towards his father.
In Bandersnatch, Stefan resents his father for taking away his bunny. And because he endured a decade of obsessing over this one incident and repressing his true emotions, Stefan's rage towards his father came out in the worst of ways. Murder.
It may be interpreted that the stress of making the video game led to his insanity, but Stefan was already well on the way before that video game. He had been visiting Dr. Hayes for a while, and he talks about the video game as if she already had previous knowledge about the work he puts into it. He's also really comfortable about speaking on his problems with her.
So this type of relationship isn't grown over a few weeks. It may take even years for someone not typically accepting of human confrontation, someone like Stefan. He was going to her clinic for reasons unrelated to the stress of the video game, like the stress relating to his past, specifically his mother. So, not having a mother had a severe impact on Stefan's development early in life. More specifically, his superego was left underdeveloped. Stefan didn't have a mother, so he couldn't develop those morals and empathy to connect with the world. He couldn't cope with the stress of producing the video game. And of course, him not taking care of his health added more to that. Now, as a 19-year-old, Stefan lacks the ability to read social cues and express himself, so he loses his sanity. So, we see more of this when he refuses to make his program a group project, deciding to work alone. And even when taking the option to work at the company, the video game turns out mediocre with 3 out of 5 stars because he was not able to work well with others.
Parents teach their children what is right and wrong. His father taught Stefan enough empathy that he respects his father's wishes to take Dr. Hayes' advice at the clinic. But his mother's absence led to a lack or underdevelopment of that superego. He doesn't have that angel on his shoulder.
So it was the absence of his mother as a child that led to an obsession that resembles an Oedipus complex and an underdeveloped superego, which gave him psychopathic qualities. And it was these qualities that led to his father's death. So the Oedipus complex is a heavy topic to grasp, and so is the id, ego, and superego. But Bandersnatch has a pretty dark plot. And so if you want a more positive example of this, take for instance Marty McFly from Back to the Future and Norman Bates from Psycho.
So both of these men experienced an attraction to that affectionate environment that their mothers raised them in. The only difference is that Marty didn't result to murder like Norman and Stefan.
So we're not justifying Stefan's decision to kill his dad. We're simply analyzing what got him there. So the psychoanalytic theory merely provides a more clear explanation as to why we think the way we do and act on the thoughts that we have. So through this lens, we think that Stefan's repressed anger towards his father and his relationship with his mother led to his insanity.
Now we've shared our opinion of what led to his insanity, what do you guys think? Comment down below and we'll see you in our next video.
Bye!